Fortnite is one of the most popular video games in the history of video games, and Pokémon is one of the most popular franchises on the planet. So, what if there was a Pokémon region based on Fortnite? Hey everybody, my name is the Sad Mando, or Mando for short, and I'm a budding Pokémon artist and graphic designer. Today I'm starting a brand new series where I'm choosing to turn the aesthetics and ideas from Fortnite into new Pokémon and Fakémon. Now, a little while back, YouTuber Pragmagik created a video explaining what a hypothetical Pokémon region based on Fortnite could look like. Go check it out if you haven't already, there's some great artwork in that video, which I'll link in the description. When I watched this video, I was pleasantly surprised. The ideas were effective and they conveyed the style of Fortnite nicely. However, I thought to myself, what would a full region look like? I'm not talking about just a handful of Pokémon, I'm talking a fully fledged region. Well, today I'm going to show you my 3 choices for potential starter Pokémon for this region, known by Pragmagik as the Royalia region, as well as show you how I made them and explain why I chose them. Let's go! So, in terms of choosing or making starters, I thought of using the Legends Arceus method by selecting 3 already existing Pokémon and giving them final forms that are different from their originals. However, this wasn't easy as I'd have to reflect their final designs in ways that easily show how Fortnite looks, so I had to do some research. Boring! These starters needed to be able to have some unique fighting capability, whether that be support, mobility, or actual fighting power. I decided on the starters Rowlet, Fuecoco, and Squirtle, more specifically their final evolutions, as I thought they'd fit the most apparently with the concept of the game. With all of this covered, let's begin by designing Skeledirge. For me, this was a no-brainer, since I immediately thought of incorporating the railgun into Skeledirge's design. The jaws of this Pokémon already looked like the barrel of the railgun, so I immediately improved on this design by applying the aesthetics of the railgun within its crocodile jaws. I also decided to alter the small bird on the front of its face by changing it into the Falcon Scalp trait, which will make sense once I read the Pokédex entry for it. Some final touches, and here is Royalian Skeledirge, the railgun Pokémon, and a fire-electric type. Royalian Skeledirge uses its gaping jaws to fire off gigantic electric beams at its opponents. If it cannot find its enemy, the small bird on its face will search the surrounding area and provide it with recon so it can eliminate them entirely. This Pokémon does not get angry easily, although annoying it can be extremely dangerous. It's the same height as standard, but it's slightly heavier, weighing 330.6 kg. It has a new move called Railgun Blast, which has 80 power and is 85% accurate. This Pokémon fires a massive beam of energy at its opponent, causing them to become burned. This attack is not ignored by Protect. I'm not sure how well this would play competitively, but I have a feeling it might be quite overpowered. Its stats are pretty much identical, but its HP has been slightly lowered in exchange for a higher attack stat. The ability is Blaze, and hidden ability is Skill Link or Keen Eye. Out of the 3 designs, I think this one is my favourite because of how well the concept was executed. I could see this actually working in the region really nicely, and even just in general. Maybe it's some sort of Paradox Pokemon, I don't know, but let me know how you feel about this design in the comment section below. The next design I had thought of when it comes to starters was Decidueye being inspired by the Unstable Bow. Now, I was thinking it could be inspired by just a single one of the bows, but that's not that inspiring, plus that could just be a colour palette swap, and I know you guys aren't here for that. So, let's change up the design for Decidueye and give him something that helps improve it. For context, the Unstable Bow is an exotic weapon that only appeared in one season during Chapter 2. Every single shot you take changes what arrow type it uses, that being Flame, Shockwave, Explosive or Stink, depending on what it randomizes to. The idea for this Decidueye regional variant is that it's a glitchy cyberpunk sharpshooter that can change its arrow quills to its liking, like the Unstable Bow changes its arrows randomly. Although it's mostly futuristic, I think the Grass Dark type works with this design. Here is Royalian Decidueye, the unstable Pokemon, and a Grass Dark type. Decidueye in this region are far less territorial than their Alolan and Hisuian counterparts. However, this does not mean they are any weaker. It can choose to fire an arrow quill possessing any one of 4 effects, granting it the upper hand in a battle. It will not rest until its enemy is silent. It remains 1.6 meters tall, but it is slightly lighter than its Alolan counterpart, being 33.8 kg. It has a new signature move called Unstable Assault, which is 80 power and is 85% accurate. The Pokemon shoots an arrow inflicted with a random status effect. This has a chance to confuse, paralyze, burn, or poison the opponent. Finally, we move on to Blastoise. Now, this design again didn't take too long to think of, though it was the most challenging in my opinion. Although you'd think I would choose something like a rocket launcher or grenade launcher, I actually decided to go with the exotic Chug Cannon instead, as I thought a Water Fairy Blastoise would be quite interesting, and considering there is a theme of weapon, mobility and healing item in the starter trio, it definitely works. I decided to go with some pastel colours to reflect the brand of the Slurp or Chug, and made his torso a darker turquoise to create a contrast between the colours. Some final adjustments, and here is Royalian Blastoise, the Slurp Cannon Pokemon, and it's a Water Fairy type. Despite the fact Blastoise tends to be seen as a powerhouse, in the Royalia region they do not really bother with fighting enemies unless it really has to. It can fire a special ointment from its cannons that will aid anybody who comes into contact with it. It will only fight back if it deems others are in danger. It is the same height and weight as standard Blastoise. It has a new signature move called Medical Missile with 80 power and is 85% accurate. The Pokemon attacks the opponent with a barrage of Slurp, whilst also allowing the user and their allies to heal 1/4 of their health. And here we go, here are all the starters for you to choose. As per normal, they would evolve at normal level like in the main series games, and would also learn new moves upon evolving. If you're wondering if this region will get any sort of gimmick, then you are correct, but you'll see this in another video. Make sure you let me know in the comments which starter you're going to choose, and whilst you're at it, why don't you like and subscribe? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.